Hi, my name is Emilia Lau. I'm 22 years old. I live in Brisbane, Australia, but originally from Hong Kong. I am a full-time piano teacher. I'm also an emerging director and producer in films. At nighttime, I also dance. I take photos. I'm a photographer. And I also do figure skating.
What made you decide to move from Hong Kong to Australia, and why Brisbane?
I have relatives in Sydney. They've been living there for 30 years. So I thought by moving to another country, I always wanted to move to an English-speaking country because I like English as a language and I would love to meet new friends. So I decided to move to Australia. At first I decided to move to Melbourne because Uni Melb has a very good musical theatre course, and I decided to go to Brisbane as well to study acting QUT and musical theatre in Griffith, but I ended up studying drama in QUT, which also worked out because I could move to Brisbane.
How did your family react to the move?
They knew that I'm gonna move to Australia when I was in year 10 because I have been telling them enthusiastically that I really wanted to move to Australia. So they have been paving a way for me to come here for a long time.
What has been your biggest struggle since moving?
Moving to Australia without knowing anybody was the most overwhelming thing I've ever experienced. I was 18 when I moved here, so I had to force myself to make new friends, which was kind of fake for me because I had to pretend someone that I was not. But eventually I made really, really good friends and I started to be myself. And I also learned how to cope with manipulative people. That's the biggest life lesson I've learned.
What has been your biggest blessing since moving?
Meeting one of the best communities in Brisbane. The dance community in Brisbane is awesome. People are professional, people are optimistic, people are open to themselves. People are open about themselves. Okay, I'm gonna say this phrase. People are open to themselves, willing to talk about their feelings, their beliefs, their values without judgment. Love it. Because in Chinese culture, we were kind of conservative. So let's say if I say to other people, oh, I have this friend who is gay, my family would be overreacting.
What would you say to those who want to do it all but often get told to stick to one?
I'd say just do it. Manage your time well. That's number one. Know how many things you can handle at first. Because I admit I do a lot, but I did a DNA test the other day. So they send you a DNA kit, you spat, shake it into a liquid, and then you send it back to the lab. So they said my stress coping mechanism is quite strong. They said I was a stress warrior, and I believe that. And also because of my upbringing, I went to school Monday to Friday. After school, I went to night schools to do tutorial classes until 9 p.m. almost every night. And then in weekends, I did my interest courses. I went to church. So every day was full on back then when I was in high school. I remember when I was in primary school, every Saturday, I started my day since 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. All of the agenda were interest classes. So it was pretty insane, which is why I could speak 3 languages. It has been a blessing. So know how many things you can handle first. If you want to rest for the entire day and sleep, do it. If you want to push yourself to the extreme, do it. I prefer a lot of intellectual activities. I think a lot. I type a lot. I don't write books, but I always come with creative ideas, and I would plan my next photo shoot, plan my next filming project. But I'm not that kind of person who would do bungee jump or skydiving. You know what I mean? So know your limits and do what you can do and you want to do.
How do you manage everything?
I honestly don't know. Focus on one thing at a time, never multitask. Let's say if I go ice skating in the morning, I would focus on ice skating 100%. I won't think about other things. I won't think about what should I eat today, or trying to recall a dance choreography, or thinking about my homework. I would just focus on ice skating. Like, how would I enter a 3-turn, or how would I balance myself? So does if you're doing your homework. I managed to do a 30-minute productivity sprint. So 30 minutes without any distractions. Sometimes I get distracted by my phone. I would put that away and say, look, there's nothing going on Instagram right now. So why wouldn't you just complete what you are doing, at least for 30 minutes straight?
Have you always known you wanted to be a director and producer, and when did you realize this?
So I was a theater kid. I started being a part of theater when I was around 10 years old. I saw my classmate when I was in grade 2 being a part of a school anniversary play as like a minor character, and I was jealous. I was wondering why, like how he would end up on stage. I had stage fright, but I wanted to get attention. So when I was in grade 4, I discovered the school's drama club, and I joined, and I became the lead, always wanting to be the lead character because I wanted attention, right? So throughout all those primary school, high school years, I wanted to be an actor so bad, just because I'm an attention seeker, which was why I was in the drama course when I was in uni. Felt like that was the only thing that I wanted to do for a uni degree, because I didn't want to study like science or economics or geography in uni. Geography is my favorite subject in high school, but I preferred acting a little bit more. So I did a lot of acting. I did a lot of gigs when I was in the age of 18 and 19, the first year I was in Brisbane. Pretty insane because I couldn't drive, and I just bus and took a train for 2 hours straight to the location and would stay till like midnight or something, asking people to give me a lift. It was insane, and some of them were unpaid. And then the second year I was here, I was overwhelmed by what I have been doing. I was acting very immature. I should understand myself a little bit more. Like, what do I exactly want? So I stepped back from acting, became super camera shy. I can still be myself talking to the camera like this, but me being in character, I got super self-conscious. Even till now, I was like, I don't think I want to be an actor anymore. It was kind of strange. And then I found this course from uni in the second year. They trained me to be a director. And I was like, I like that. Like being a leader and learning how to communicate with people better because I didn't have good social skills. It really trained me to become a better person, a better version of myself. So I decided to be a leader, be a director instead. And then started doing photo shoots, planning a photo story to make things more interesting. And then I graduated from uni last year. Didn't do a lot of acting either. And in 2021, I entered a dance course. I thought I wanted to be a dance teacher because I wanted to show my craft. I want to share my craft. And also, most of my friends are dancers. Basically, all of my friends are dancers. And then I drove an hour and a half, 3 days from Brisbane to Gold Coast to Broad Beach And then I had really bad skin issues. I had to pull myself together. It was physically and mentally exhausting. I also have my piano job to handle, so almost every day after school I had to drive back to Brisbane and teach. It was just very exhausting. And I fell into depression, and it was very, very bad. Like I wanted to kill myself as well. And I was like, why would this happen to me? Like I didn't feel loved because I didn't love myself. So I decided to quit that course because during my birthday catch up, I told my uni friends that I missed making theatre. I missed the process of thinking, brainstorming, coming up with ideas that stirs controversy, and then find a solution, or basically you don't have to find a solution, you just need to listen to people's opinions and make a topic out of it. And I was like, I made a photo series, it's called Tofana in January. And then people talk about patriarchy, people talk about poison. Aqua Tofana was the idea. And I was like, maybe I should do a second development. There came a film mom messaged me saying that, oh, you should make this a short film because you have so many great ideas in photo shoots. Why don't you just make it into a film? That hit me. Literally, that night I was trying to sleep but I couldn't. And I thought like maybe I should quit my dance course and make this into a film. Plus, I received an offer from Griffith University to do a postgrad in screen production. I declined the offer and I regretted it and I wished to go back. So I decided to quit the dance course, make this film, and enter my postgrad. I ended up getting accepted again. So I'm studying in Griffith, master's in screen production. And I love producing because producing is the start of all film projects. Like if there isn't a producer, there would not be a film. So I love this job as a producer, even though there are a lot of dark sides as a producer in terms of financing, scheduling, and basically it is basically HR. You can say my job is in HR. But I love it.
How is the creative market in Hong Kong versus Brisbane?
Hong Kong's TV quality, I'd say it's alright, but not great. If you compare that to Hollywood blockbusters, duh. But I kind of appreciate that Hong Kong creatives would use whatever they have to make something that is decent. So there's one broadcaster in Hong Kong called View TV. They literally just produce anything in like a homemade video format. And it's doable. It's great. People love the idea. So yeah, like in this day and age, everything is possible. Even though if you're on a budget. In Brisbane, I like how compact the community is. Everybody knows each other. So by the third year I'm in Brisbane, it's my third year now. And I started to make solid relationships with the people in the industry, and they're my friends as well. I decided to stick with them and work with them and just create job opportunities together. And I am doing my best to finance for a project. Don't ask me like whether I'll be self-funded or apply for a grant or applying for investment equity. There is always a way. But ultimately, you just want to make a better living for the arts industry in Brisbane.
Do you find keeping your creative outlet open through different platforms helps your creative flow or hinders it?
I believe that sharing my creative work through social media has been helping me so much for exposure everybody loves exposure, right? It is also a part of the new media to publish your work and having it seen. Because in the old days, if you're making TV, if you're making videos, you have to submit to broadcasters or streamers. And then you have to accept the brutal truth that it is very hard to get accepted, to broadcast to the public, and even getting seen. Because one interesting thing I found from Australians is they don't really watch TV. In Hong Kong, we watch TV every single day. We turn on the TV, blast the volume, and we just absorb what we are absorbing. In Australia, who watches ABC? I haven't watched ABC before. I don't even have a TV at home. Some people talk about The Bachelorette and The Bachelor or MasterChef, but I don't really watch it. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, I don't think TV in Australia is that popular. They always buy American shows. I was looking at Stan. They buy a lot of American TV shows. Only Eden is Australian. I found some others that are Australian that I don't really notice. So yeah, I decided to post most of my work on Instagram because I have a good network over there. And I've opened a new TikTok. It's called Tofana Series. So hopefully getting viral. Because some of my videos got viral once or twice. And it's just a Ferrero Rocher. Like, why would that get viral? It's just so weird. But I'm playing that game. I start to get the technique of that TikTok game. So it is a very great marketing tool for films and TV shows and dance videos.
Where do you get your creative inspiration from?
I get my creative inspiration from everywhere. From music. I love synthwave music. Always blast my brain cells. I would sit on the sofa, close my eyes, turn on the volume, and then just let my brain run. And then I would write everything on my bullet journal. And then when days go by, I can just combine all of my thoughts together to create a new idea. And sometimes if I'm curious about a certain topic, I would go on Google, which was why I decided to watch Bailey Sarian's murder makeup videos. And I found this lady called Julia Tofana. And then combining with my friend's idea about gender stereotypes. And I was like, let's make a story about that. Futuristic. I like sci-fi. So this is how I generate my creative idea.
You're currently working on a new short film. How was that idea created?
Okay, I'm working on a new short film. Yes, Tofana, as I said. That was basically how I created that. Through conversations from my friends, through a little bit of meditation process, through Pinterest inspirations. And I was a painter. I painted portraits. So I combined my existing visual art style with Pinterest illustrations, with my friends' conversation, with music, with Aqua Tofana, and there came Tofana. And the storyline has changed a little bit comparing to what I had in mind in the very beginning, but it will be a surprise for everybody.
What has been the hardest thing about creating your own short film?
I am an emerging director and producer because I graduated uni last year and I'm quite young. I'm 22 years old. So I can't say I'm in my mid-career or I'm established, you know. I'm still learning. I'm still learning every single day, asking my lecturers about the progress of my project, about my decisions, and I'm also being open to all of the ideas flowing in from my existing team members. Because I think ideas are just ideas. They don't really have a right or wrong answer. You can always choose to use the idea or not use the idea or use the idea later to create something better. So I've learned that being a director producer is to be open with ideas and communicate with people and understand what their ideas come from.
Did you study film, or has it been a dive-in headfirst learning experience?
It was kind of spontaneous. Although there has been some life experiences that kind of paved my way towards this decision, because I studied theater, I loved acting, and I loved creating stories, and I did photography. So that kind of explains why I would enter film. When I was a bit younger, I didn't want to get into filming because video editing was kind of complex. I agree to that. VFX is very complex. But I decided to get into photography because I just wanted good photos for my Instagram. Freaking attention seeker, Emilia. Now I'm not quite an attention seeker. But yeah, young Emilia just want to be famous. But eventually I became a person standing behind the camera, operating the camera, and I started to understand the physics of photography. So I decided to give filming a go because they are kind of similar, and I understand how to operate a video camera now. It is hard at first, but when you try it, you will become better and you will know what to do, and it becomes your muscle memory. So everything's doable. What else am I gonna say? I like to make things possible. I like to create something from scratch, from zero. And then once you created that thing, it is very satisfying. And I want to share it to the community. By that, I love collaborating with a group of people, having them just having them in the story and feel it, and then sharing the feelings together. That's what I love about the Tofana team. They're just amazing people, very professional, and I love the personality, I love the character. They're just really, really amazing people. So I'm so glad that Tofana grew from one person, me, to now like maybe 20 something people. What a blessing. Like sometimes I think about it and then I was just surprised. Like, who am I? Sometimes I think I was doing everything alone and I feel lonely sometimes.
What advice would you give to others wanting to follow in your path?
For those who want to follow the creative pathway, I'd say just do it. The first few years are gonna be hard, difficult. You wouldn't know what you were doing, and then a few years later, you sort of understand what you're doing. You have expanded your network. Maybe you started a business. You start charging photography or artwork or commissions, whatever. You start making your own music. You may go back and watch your old videos or look at your old work and just start to cringe your face, because I did that. But it's about persistence. Like I didn't stop taking photos, and then 3 years later, comparing my recent work to my work in 2018, I was like, whoa, a person can really grow. You will watch yourself growing into a better person. Really, really treasure that moment and be confident that you will become a way better person in the future. 5 years later, I can't imagine, like, what would I be? Even in dancing, recently people have been telling me that I have improved a lot in this year in particular. And yeah, I kind of see that. And it's very heartwarming to hear these affirmations from people. I don't get proud about it. Like yeah, I'm happy about my progression, but I won't be bragging about my achievements. But you will see, it's beautiful.
What is your end goal?
There's no end goal. I'd say in the short term, financing Tufana into an 8-episode TV pilot. It's gonna be a very long process, but we will get there. Just doing one thing at a time. Set short goals, and then step by step, and then soon you will achieve something bigger. Never aim for very hard goals. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna be a A-grade Hollywood actress, or I'm gonna own a mansion in Beverly Hills. I'd say, let's say if I'm gonna move out from here, maybe I want an apartment with timber flooring, not carpet, because I don't like carpet. And then eventually being able to cover all of my rent without subsidized by my mom. Well, I'm Asian, so it's reasonable that parents will actually subsidize you in this age. Yep. I'm not rich or anything. I still have my mom's support. Yeah. Do one thing at a time. And just be grateful. Grateful for the present. I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm still alive, and I'm happy for everything that has happened. So yeah.